Okay, so we are back with Delicious on a Dime Chicken Edition. And with this one, we are going to make some home-style country fried chicken. And yeah, there's nothing else to say other than let's get started with this one. All right, so first thing what we're going to do is, again, we're going to grab the star of the show, and it's going to be, this time, some chicken legs. Okay? And I'm going to put these over here. Let me get my glove on. Normally, the juicier part of the chicken is the darker meat. So I chose to go with the legs, but you guys can do this with the breast, this is the thigh and the leg. So we're gonna do that. And also, actually, before we get started with that, I'm gonna quickly make what's called the buttermilk. In Aruba, it's very hard to find buttermilk. So we're gonna do that quickly together. We're gonna make it so that way it sets while we're cutting the chicken leg. All right, and it's 2 simple ingredients. You want to get about 1.5 cups of milk. And then about 2 tablespoons, maybe 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice or white vinegar. Give that a little bit of a spin, and you'll see that it'll coagulate. So it's going to start to thicken on its own. And that's what you're going to soak your chicken in the fridge for about 1.5 hours. You can do it overnight as well to make it even take in even more of that buttermilk. All right, so while that's doing that, we're going to go ahead and cut our chicken. Over here, you'll see that when you're cutting, all you have to do is follow the shape of the leg. You'll see that there's a curve, and a lot of people don't realize that in a chicken, you'll see that it kind of just, if you follow the shape of the body, it'll guide your knife to where you need to cut. And as you slide it down, it'll go right through the tendon that holds it together, and you'll see it's a very, very simple thing. All right, we'll put that in our bowl. I like to go with the skin still on because that gives it even more crispiness in the end. All right, let's do our second leg. You know, chickens do only have 2 legs, so that's what we have today, 2 legs. All right, and then let's do that again. You basically let the knife follow the shape of the leg and pass as it's going down. Kind of turn a little bit. See how it's already going? And then just go straight down. See? All right, we'll put that in the bowl. All right. With this, we'll just add a little bit of salt and pepper. Not too much, because most of the seasoning is going to come from the flour. All right, it looks like our buttermilk is ready to go. All right, as you can see, it already started to thicken and get almost lumpy. I'm not saying we're making mozzarella cheese, but we're in that direction. All right, and then you just pour that over top. You want it to get a nice, even coating in a bowl. You don't want the bowl to be too wide because then it won't coat evenly. You want it to be a deep bowl, so that way everything sits in the middle and goes almost above the entire thing. You want a nice even coating all the way around. Get that goodness all there. And then you'll let that sit in the refrigerator overnight, or you'll let it go for at least minimum 1 hour. All right, so I'll go ahead and put that in the fridge. And by the power of movie magic, I have one already ready. Okay, so I have one that's been at least for 2 hours in the refrigerator, basically taking in that the buttermilk and a little bit of the flavor of the seasoning of salt and pepper. But where we're gonna really make the chicken shine is taking our flour. We'll get a little bit of all-purpose seasoning. I like to put a lot, actually. I take some onion salt. All right, a little paprika. If you have garlic powder as well. Okay, get that evenly coated in there. If you see that it looks too light, like it's missing a tiny bit of flavor, add some more. depending on how much flour you're using. All right, and a secret that I like to do whenever I'm making fried chicken is I take a little bit of that buttermilk and I pour it inside of the flour mixture. Okay, and what you do is you take it and you kind of stir it around. What you want to do is create like these little crispies, right? Like little crumbles, and that is going to attach itself to the chicken to give it that nice crispy crunchy outside. You could squeeze it together and you know that you're getting the consistency you want as soon as you get those little flaky pieces of flour and flavor. A little more. It's too light for me. Okay. Always remember that you can't take salt out, but you could always add a little more later. So let's not overdo it. Okay, so you see that I have the little crumbles inside, right? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take the chicken and I'm gonna just put it right inside of this mixture. We'll do 2 at a time. All right, and then you want to just cover it. Give it a nice coating. I filled up my pan I'd say about a little bit over the halfway mark. You don't want to overdo it because then it's going to splatter out and that's not safe. Make sure you have a fire extinguisher nearby. Alright, so then I put it on, I coated it, and then I shook it because you don't want to over flour it either. Okay? You see how it has all that delicious goodness on it? That's going to be the crispies on the chicken. Alright? As you can see, it's ready to fry. Temperature's good. Shake, shake, shake. Drop that bad boy in there. Let's go ahead and put it fry. And these are really big pieces of chicken. They do come in different sizes, but these are massive, so it's going to be a huge, huge chicken. Looks so good. Give it a nice shake. Yeah, I think that's all we're going to be able to fit in there. If not, it's going to overflow. Alright. So now what we do is we just wait until it gets to golden brown and delicious. That is that word again. What is it? GBD? Yeah. Alright, so we'll let that cook. Let me watch fire. So now that we got to the point where it is GBD, golden brown and delicious, as you can see, that is definitely golden brown. That's some good color. We're going to go ahead and take it out of the oil, and that is pretty much it. We'll let it soak. Look at that crispiness. And now you have some home-style fried chicken. Alright. As you can see all the little crispies that got on top. So when you take a bite out of that, you're going to hear all that crunch. It's too hot for me to do that right now. But you can hear it even as I'm grabbing it. But it's very, 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 very crispy. Ooh, this one doesn't want to see. I should have got a bigger plate. All right, and what I like to do is I like to drizzle a tiny bit of honey on top. That's just my preference. It gives it that extra little touch. And there you have it. Fried chicken. Enjoy.